Hello, everyone. This is Flowing Oil, the official podcast channel for Orgasm Reform Institute. Orgasm Reform Institute is a sexual intelligence institute that is intentional about helping you become a sexually sane being, hence, building a sexually sane generation. So, yeah, in Orgasm Reform Institute, we engage in culture acceptable conversation, shame free conversation, medically accurate conversation, and everything around sex education. And one of the major aim of flowing oil is to take you from where you are sexually to where you ought to be sexually. I won't say where you want to be, because where you want to be sexually may be bad for you, like maybe as a result of your ignorance or something else. So with flowing oil, I tend to take you from where you are sexually to where you ought to be sexually. So this is our first episode. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's going to be a very, very interesting ride. And I promise to make this very, very interesting for every one of us. Every one of us. So if you're not familiar with Orgasm Reform Institute, you won't know who is speaking. So let me introduce myself. My name is Olubusola Akishiyodu. Yeah, Olubusola, privileged to Steward Division Orgasm Reform Institute, and also I'm going to be your host for this podcast channel. So today we're going to be talking on sextitude. Sextitude comes from the word attitude. So sex and attitude. Like, what is your attitude regarding sex? So this is sextitude. Once again, welcome to episode 1. Enjoy the ride. So yeah, sextitude. A lot of people just want to engage in sexual activity like without, most people don't even know, like everybody you penis should enter vagina and vagina should enter penis. Like that's the only thing some people know about sex. That's the only thing some people know about sex. And it is also unfortunate that it is affecting people's sexual lives, especially married people, people that are waiting and hoping to get married in future, open to get married in future. How about we start being sex positive? How about we start being intentional about the kind of sexual information we receive, especially for those of us waiting? Like, there's a time that's also rampant that just for people to be able to wait, like we get the information like sex is bad, sex is rubbish, sex is demonic, sex will destroy your destiny. Hello, like, fine, if you want to wait. If you want to wait till marriage to have sex, wait till marriage to have sex, but you don't need to demonize something that God created all because you want to be able to wait till marriage to have sex. No, sex is not bad. Sex is not demonic. Sex is not rubbish. Sex will not destroy your destiny. Sex will not stop you from fulfilling purpose. No, it won't. It won't. God created sex, and the sex He created was good. He created sex good. He said everything He created good. So come on, sex is good. Sex is good. And by the way, if you've always believed that sex is bad, sex is demonic, sex is rubbish throughout your waiting season, like, how do you now move from sex is bad to sex is good just because of few minutes of yes I do on the altar? No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If you've always believed that sex is bad, sex is rubbish, when you get into marriage, few minutes after saying you do, it's going to take, you will not be able to enjoy sex in marriage at all, because like I've always said, your sexual activity doesn't start on your wedding night. No, sexual activity doesn't start on your wedding night. Sexual activity starts from your waiting season. From your waiting season, because the kind of sexual information you've been exposed to while you are waiting, all this information will accumulate to become who you are sexually when you get married. Like, we have mad people that cannot freely have sex. I read today, like just today, I read about two couples throughout their dating period. They were abstinent, and Even after marriage, they were still abstinent for 2 years in marriage, because they said, according to them, they said since sex was only, since they lived as though sex is only while they were dating, so it's now that they're in marriage, it should now be more holier than when they were dating. Like, hello, I don't hey Jesus, who does that? Who does that? Like, what kind of religious mindset is that? While you were dating, sex was only, then now that you are now married, then it should now be only times two. So they now, so for like 2 years in marriage, they've not had sex. They've not had sex because they believe it is only. And hence, even if sex is only, you are married, for crying out loud. So can you see how far what they believed while they were dating has impacted on their marriage? And the end goal, for those of us waiting, the end goal of us waiting is for us to be able to enjoy intimacy with our spouses. Like, at the end of everything, at the end of you waiting, when you eventually get married, you want to be able to enjoy intimacy with your spouse. Because in marriage, if you've waited all this while and you get to marriage, your sexual activity in marriage is zero. Like, is that not waste of wait? Like, hello. So it is not enough for us to say I'm waiting to marriage. It's not enough to say I'm a virgin. And by the way, virginity is a social construct. I'm going to talk about that in other episodes. It is not enough to say I'm keeping myself to marriage. Why waiting? What are you doing? Why waiting? What kind of information are you listening to? What kind of information are you engaging with? Because the things you do while waiting will impact on what you would do in your marriage. In your marriage, sex is not just penis entry vagina or vagina entertaining penis. Sex is way more than that. Your attitude towards sex impacts on your activity when you get married. Your attitude towards sex as a single person will impact on your activity in marriage, on your sexual activity in marriage. So what is your attitude towards sex now? What is your sex attitude? Are you sex negative or you are sex positive? Like, do you believe in sex positivity, or you feel anyone that talks about sex is a sinner? Anyone that, like, a lot of things are going on. A lot of things are going on. See, if you're waiting, I bet it's with you that the end goal of you waiting is for you to be able to enjoy sex with your spouse in marriage. And if after your marriage, if after the wedding ceremony and all, you cannot communicate sexually with your spouse, then I don't know why you waited. Though, I sincerely, like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because you surely have sex. So if you like do as if, oh, I'm holy, I'm this, I'm papa, I'm mama, I'm a woman of God, I'm a man of God, at the end of the day, you will still do the do. So even while you are waiting, be prepared. Even while you are waiting, be prepared. And I said something recently. Like, actually, something, a thought was actually on my mind. Like, okay, around last week, yeah, around last week, I was just reminiscing and I was telling myself that, wow, one day I'm going to wake up with my husband beside me and I'm going to look at his penis and say, wow, like, this is mine. Hey, like, I have this to myself, like, all of this to myself. And this is a positive attitude towards sex. You don't need to wait. You don't need to. And do you know that you will not be able to appreciate your spouse's body if you've not learned to appreciate your own body? Some people even find it difficult to stand in front of the mirror naked and just check what's happening with my body. Like, how it is that bad. Some people don't even love their body enough to look at their body, their nakedness in front of the mirror. So if you're never comfortable with your body, how will you be comfortable with your spouse's body? Yeah. So I'm asking you again, what is your sex attitude? What is your attitude towards sex? Sex is not a bad thing. God created sex, and he was not ashamed when he was creating sex. So come on, come on. We shouldn't be uptight. We shouldn't be rigid. We shouldn't be rigid. So today, in this podcast, I just want us to know that Sex is God's idea. Yeah, sex is God's idea. If for those of us waiting, the end goal of us waiting is for us to be able to enjoy sex in our marriage. So you don't start preparing to have sex on your wedding night. You start preparing to have sex while you were waiting. And for you to prepare to have sex during your waiting season, you want to be sex positive and not sex negative. And also, the final thing I want you to know is that be comfortable in your body, appreciate your body, love your body, be familiar with your body, know what your body looks like. I'm always advising the ladies, hello, get a mirror, open your leg, and look at what your vulva looks like. Be comfortable. Even the guys also get a mirror. Look at what your penis looks like. Look at it. Look at it. Spread it. Look at it. Touch it. And I'm very, very careful with that. I'm very, very careful. But look at it. Yes. Look at what your genitals look like. Even before you get married and you start doing genital meet and greet. Yeah. So I believe I've been able to say something sensible. I believe I've been able to move you closer to where you ought to be sexually. Yeah, once again, my name is Olubusola, and this is the first episode for Flowing Oil, the lubricant tuning for your sexual life. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening to this very point. Share the link with your friends to also come and learn. Yeah. I wanted to say I pray the Lord will bless our understanding. Yeah, so thank you for listening to this episode. I enjoyed it and I hope you also enjoyed it. See you next week. Bye bye. Have a beautiful day, night, good morning, whatever time you listen to this. Bye. I love you. Mwah.